Have you ever wondered what it takes to force the world's most powerful loner to abandon everything they believe in? Well, in the world of One Piece, we witnessed exactly that transformation with one of the most fascinating characters in the entire series. Imagine being so skilled at your craft that you've literally run out of worthy opponents. Imagine being so feared that Marines would rather negotiate with you than fight you. That was Dracule Mihawk before everything changed. Let's start with understanding just how isolated Mihawk truly was. Picture this. A man living alone on a desolate island called Kurigana, surrounded by nothing but ruins. No crew, no allies, no political affiliations beyond what was absolutely necessary. Dracule Mihawk wasn't just physically isolated, he was emotionally and strategically isolated as well. He didn't need anyone, and more importantly, he made sure everyone knew it. He didn't inherit a devil fruit power, he didn't command vast territories, and he didn't rely on massive crews. His reputation was built on individual excellence. Mihawk and Shanks established a rivalry when both were active as top swordsman figures in the New World. But after Shanks lost his left arm during the incident with the Sea King, Mihawk ended his duels with the Shanks, citing that the fight would no longer be fair. Therefore, their documented clashes faded, and Mihawk retained his title as the world's strongest swordsman, while Shanks continued to rise as a Yonko. By the way, if you like these kinds of breakdowns, consider subscribing. I do these every week, and that way you won't miss the next one. The 7 Warlord system perfectly suited Mihawk's lifestyle. It gave him the freedom to pursue his interests without constant interference from the world government, while also keeping overzealous Marines at bay. He could duel whoever he wanted, whenever he wanted, without having to worry about political consequences. It was the ideal arrangement for someone who valued independence above all else. During the Marineford War, we saw exactly how this mentality played out. Mihawk participated, but on his own terms. He tested himself against Whitebeard, engaged with Vista when it proved interesting, and walked away when he felt like it. Even in the middle of the biggest conflict in recent One Piece history, Mihawk remained fundamentally detached. He was there as an individual, not as part of any greater cause or alliance. After Marineford, this isolation only deepened. While other warlords maintained their political connections and scheming, Mihawk retreated even further from the world's affairs. He returned to Kurigana Island, content to train Zoro and pursue his own interests, while the world grew increasingly chaotic around him. Pirates were getting stronger, the revolutionary army was gaining momentum, and the balance of power was shifting dramatically. But none of that seemed to concern the world's greatest swordsman. Then came the Reverie, and with it, the decision that would shatter Mihawk's carefully constructed world of isolation. The world government voted to abolish the 7 Warlord system entirely. In one political move, they stripped away the protection that had allowed Mihawk to maintain his independence for years. Suddenly, the man who had never needed anyone found himself in an incredibly vulnerable position. The Marines wasted no time. Former warlords became immediate targets, and even someone as powerful as Mihawk couldn't ignore the reality of his situation. Fighting off constant Marine attacks while trying to maintain his lifestyle wasn't just impractical, it was impossible. For the first time in his adult life, Dracule Mihawk was forced to confront a problem that couldn't be solved through individual strength alone. Now here's where Mihawk's intelligence really shines through. He didn't just panic and join the first group that would take him. He made a calculated decision that perfectly demonstrates why he survived at the top for so long. Crocodile and Buggy weren't chosen because they were the strongest available allies. They were chosen because they offered something Mihawk had never possessed: organizational infrastructure and political maneuvering. The brilliance of Cross Guild lies in how perfectly it balances each member's strengths while covering their individual weaknesses. Mihawk provides the raw power that makes their organization a legitimate threat. Crocodile supplies the strategic planning and operational expertise needed to actually run a criminal empire. Buggy offers the public face and inspirational leadership that keeps their massive workforce motivated and loyal. What makes this evolution so fascinating is that Mihawk didn't abandon his core principles to join Cross Guild. He simply recognized that the game had changed and adapted accordingly. The world's greatest swordsman is still the same calculating, powerful figure he always was. The difference is that he now understands the value of having the right allies in the right situations. I think Mihawk's end role with Cross Guild will probably be as the cornerstone threat, the legitimizer of the organization, and the hidden ace they reveal when the world order fractures, enabling him to direct chaos without the burden of overt leadership.